Hello everyone, welcome to Science and Tech series with Dr. Vedran. Topic for today's discussion is from health section. There is some positive news in wake of the pandemic. Russia has claimed that it has developed the first ever COVID-19 vaccine and it has passed the phase 1 and phase 2 trial successfully, and it is regulatory authorities have even given ahead that you could produce it on mass scale. So Russia has won this race to develop the world's first ever vaccine. Though a lot of skeptics are still wondering that whether it is a premature step or they have just put a national pride above the security of people. So let time decide whether it's just one of the steps or it is actually the milestone we were all looking for. First of all, from examination point of view, we will be discussing what this vaccine is, how it works. So first thing you need to know is the nomenclature part, because you can see this name of this vaccine is little unconventional one. Generally, the vaccines we have seen, the Rotavac, Genvac, they generally begin with the name of disease and there is a vac word to signify that it's a vaccine. But here it goes back in time and it has named it after a satellite. So Sputnik, we all know, was the first satellite which was launched by Russia during Cold War way back in 1957, and it heralded a space race between the US and Russia. So in a way, we all were in race, almost 15 to 20 countries, they are in race to develop the first ever vaccine. So Russia has finally, in a way, won that race by getting all the media attention by releasing that its vaccine is ready to be administered to the public, and Russian President Vladimir Putin had administered the one of the early batches to his own daughter. So anyone who is doubting the safety angle can be put to rest from that. So the name attains a significance. Make sure you also go through the first ever satellite launches. We all know in India case we have studied about the Aryabhat, Bhaskara, Rohini series. So make sure the global first in satellites are also revised just for the sake of questions, because this name is related to space and it's the first time a vaccine has been named after satellite. So which is the organization which has achieved this milestone? It's a Russian institute. There is the Gamaleya Institute which has received direct funding from RDIF. Russian Direct Investment Fund, which has a sovereign bond from defense industry. So this is where the funding has come. So directly it's a state sponsor. Now coming to the technical part, or this is one which you want to hear about. That type of vaccine, which is this one, is based on non-replicating viral vector. So this makes it like quite a confusing one if you are not from science background. The word non-replicating means we all know viruses are obligate parasites. They keep on replicating and producing their copies, and this is why they overtake the host machinery, which is humans, and that's how they cause destruction. So whenever some vaccine is introduced, it should not be one that it's producing multiple copies of itself. So this word is signifying non-replicating means the vaccine would be producing a short and strong immune response, but it is not that it will keep on multiplying in your body itself. And the vector word here is not the one which we say of disease. It is used in case of a viral strain which has been weakened and is being used to produce the desired immune response. So what is happening is, we all know the coronavirus has spike proteins and they attach to the ACE receptors on the lungs, and that's how they overtake the machinery. So what they have chosen is a specific virus which is called adenovirus. So these adenoviruses are the viruses which cause the common cold, which we can easily withstand. So comparatively, this is not too serious virus to be taken into account. It is easier to manipulate and genetically engineer. So they have chosen adenovirus. Though there is no single vaccine which has been successfully developed of these viruses. That's another angle on which it can be counted as well. So this virus, it also has the proteins and the genetic material. So what happens in vaccination is we generally weaken the disease causing part and introduce the rest of the part, so that our immune system recognizes it as an antigen and produces a satisfactory immune response. What we did Russian scientists did, they just removed the disease-causing part of adenovirus and inserted the gene which produces the spike proteins, because this is where the vaccine will come into the picture. So that specific gene has been inserted. That gene will produce the spike proteins, and the immune response will recognize the spike proteins and produce the immune response. So when the actual virus enters your body, the SARS coronavirus, your immune system would be ready to handle it, and it will unleash the defense response which virus would not be able to withstand. So more or less it will prepare your body for eventual infection. So in administration also there is not that a single dose which we see in lot of viral cases. There will be 2 doses which will be administered at gap of 21 days. And they have mentioned it that the strains are AD 26 and 5. So this is also something unusual. Generally a single strain is used, because the Oxford vaccine which they are working in UK, that is based on single strain. But here they have used the 2 different strains of ADs for adenoviruses, so that the body produces the requisite response. This is more or less a booster dose which is given so that it remains effective. So once they are administering, so far in phase 1 and phase 2, even though the cases are limited, they are saying that a strong cellular as well as antibody response is produced, and the individuals have responded well. There is no side effects as well. So they are ready for the final phase. In the final phase trial, at least thousands of individuals are targeted, and mainly it's a rigorous trial which is carried out for a long duration. Almost in practical sense, it's carried out between 20,000 to 40,000 individuals, that too in different countries. So already the getting countries is not a concern. India itself have volunteered. There are Arabic and almost 20-30 countries which are ready for such option. So that if this is successful, it will be globally accepted by WHO as well, that this is the vaccine which we all were looking for. So this is where the controversy comes, that they have not carried out such trials, and generally when such trials are carried out, there is a response is measured as well, whether it was a long-term immunity or a short-term response. So that takes time, and that's where we say that to develop a vaccine before 2021 is going to be challenging. Yes, there are human challenge trials as well as held to speed up the trial case. In those cases, what happens is, when you have given the vaccine, you forcefully inject the person with the virus and see if he could withstand the attack or not. There are some ethical concerns. If it backfires, it could be a major tragedy as well. But in Russia, a lot of people have volunteered for even those trials as well. Because Russia, which has a history of developing such vaccines, there is no dearth of human beings which are volunteering for such noble cause. We all know how the pandemic has been an economic disaster, as well as its number is quite staggering one already. Every single day the new peaks are being reached and more countries are being incurred. So it's worth taking risk at the moment, and if it is successful, it will be a new benchmark. So once again, the race which was going on between China and US to prove that they are the major science and tech power, Russia has made entry, and it has rightfully called it the Sputnik. That's how it seized the space race. Now it's trying to seize the health race in case of vaccination. So let's see how things unfold, and let's be hopeful that it eventually works as well, because it's in interest of all nations as well that there should be an effective vaccine. So if you have any specific query or doubts related to this vaccine, you are most welcome to ask them in comment section. I will try to answer a genuine one. So this is all we have for today's lecture. I hope it was useful in some way. We will be back soon with another lecture. Thank you for tuning in. Have a nice day.